Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my shop. My name is Keith. I'm your host. Let's start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On with the show. Rock hard. Still looks like it's like white silicone. Looks silly because it's so clean and white, and here we are on a piece of machinery. Looks like it should be squishy. Alright, I'm going to break this down, but I think I'm going to bring you over and I'm going to set you right into the ways so that you got this good angle here to get the first view of what this will look like when we take off our forms here. I think first we're going to go ahead and back off the jacks here. And we're going to roll out the bar. We're going to see if this will pop loose. Okay. There we go. Alright, I went through my little file drawer, and one of the first things I want to do is I want to get that surface right there down into that bottom root down there. And this little file fits into that radius down in there, so I know I'm going to be doing okay. And you just got to work at it a little bit, and then you're going to probably blow some of that out. I took my scribe and I came in here and I went like this along that edge, and I pulled and peeled off that little bit of blue tape that was still on there. This works about like wood, and it does pretty good without really clogging up. You can brush it out, clear it out, but you can feel that you're still removing some material. Once I have this out of here, then we can start laying some paper on a flat surface and like a half-round file. We'll be able to get this surface in here, and we'll take a block and we're going to hit a face, and we'll be able to take this surface down here, because this is actually protruding out about that far, about 200 thousandths at this major diameter here. And then the surface up here on the top, we can work that down on here. This is open air really, this top piece here, so no problem there. But the hardest one is getting down in here on this root, and that's kind of what I'm working on right now. A little air and we'll blow it out. I think I've reached in here, and then I've scraped it right down in there, and I think we're ready to go ahead and start working a couple other faces. I'm going to get a piece of oil paper to sit down on this surface here so I can come in with a sanding block, and I'm going to take back this face to where we're even with the edge of the dovetail out here. Just a piece of warped oil paper. And I found this really smooth piece of steel over there at the surface grinder. And this is a good piece of image strip, and laying on its side, you can see that laying on its side here, it fits the height recommendations or needs of ours. We can take and just fold this around the outside here, so it'll work on just the flat surface right here. And we're just going to work it a little bit at a time. So we're starting to make a flat surface there already. We can clear out our paper. Flip our paper over so we're rubbing in a little different area. Okay, I'm going to blow this. Starting to get some shape in there, and we're, I'd say we're about 40 thousandths here and about 60 thousandths here, so we're a little bit heavy on this end of it. A little tiny bit of clogging, and we can always change a piece of paper if we want. Alright, we'll go ahead and we'll change over to a new piece of paper here, and we'll blow the dust out of here. Just a touch more. Okay, I'm seeing a little gloss on each side there, so I'm going to call that it. for right now. Okay, we got two surfaces left. We got the surface that's going to be against that face, and we got the top right here. And I think we're going to go ahead and take the top down now. Okay, we're getting real close. Let's drop it on down to finer paper here. Okay, and now I'm just going to roll over the edge here. All right. It's going to fill that piece in really nice so material chips and grit don't get stuck underneath there. The last surface we're working is actually a working surface. This is one of the two surfaces on this lower half. Well, one of the four. This surface, and the two on that side there are the working surface that guide the cross slide across the apron. Alright, I'm just putting this paper down on the lower edge there and holding this up here and working that surface like that. Okay, well, Lorna, you got to put the paper all the way down in there, then put this piece up here. Because all the way down in the root, that paper wasn't making well enough contact to take it all the way down in there, but it is now. Okay. Okay, we're flipping it over. It's nice when you get close, and then when you start seeing it come in like that, you know you blended it perfectly into the shape you need to. Alright, I can start to see the outline on it now. One more time with this side of the paper, and then we're going to drop it down to the finer paper. Okay, and then I'm just coming up and rotating around that face there a little bit. Alright, now looking excellent, excellent. I'm going to blow this off. Nice. Okay. I think that's worth a try with the slide, and we'll see how the fit is. Okay, so I'm going to wipe this down. We're going to try to slide the slide on there before we get into adjusting it, and we're going to see how it feels going to pass there. I'm pretty happy with that little patch right now. What I like to wipe down dust-free and lubricate is ZEP 45, and we're just going to be generous with it on both of these parts here. We took a little bit of a wire brush and kind of scrubbed all the loose stuff off in these areas right here and down in the little valley here to really kind of start prepping to clean this so that we can put it back together. I'm pressing so much for time right now. I'm just going to make sure that it's clean. And grip free. And we'll do some adjusting. I might take, before our final assembly, I might just take a stone and kind of hit any of the high areas where I see the waves have been wearing just a little bit, and just a little bit down on here, and put it back together. Alright, that was just the airline. Okay, just a little bit of wetness to slide this together. Might have been something just underneath this rear gib here. I do feel a little difference on it. Alright, we're going to loosen up the tension on it and we'll see if that lets it slide in there better. There we go. Okay, I'm not feeling any resistance on this part at all. The patch part is what I'm talking about. Patch fill. Alright, I think we're ready to go back to our lead screw. We got the Acme material in, so let's continue on that. Our Acme material came in, and this is our 3/4 left hand and our 5/8 right hand Acme, and our two nuts are complete. Now what we want to do is we want to check our fit on this before we make a final decision on cutting and modifying that with this rod here. Alright, and I think this, I got a funky rolled over spot inside here since I did the splitting. I'm going to go ahead and run the tap through this one more time. On this one here, this Acme goes all the way through here. This Acme actually feels a little rocky in there. I can't feel forward and aft measurements there. But we got to make a decision, and we're going to check our new fit on the old screw. And we're going to put both of these in a vise and put an indicator against the end, and we're going to thrust this back and forth. We're going to see if we can get any lineal movement out of this, because I'm debating on whether this has actually got enough wear on this thread here, because this is pretty firm to go in the beginning, but in this center it feels about like that one. And I'm wondering if it's actually worth replacing that thread at all. Alright, I'm going to run the tap through this one here. We're going to come back and feel this thread in here. I think I ran the tap through there and I had some pretty good resistance, but I think more than anything else, by making this cut and the material stress relieved on that, and made enough stress relief difference that it was really making a bind on the thread there. That really feels good, and I know it's going to be the same no matter where it goes on this rod here. What I propose to do is go ahead and pull this handle and everything, the thrust bearing, pull all of this off of here, and then I would like to go ahead and cut this shaft right here, machine this to represent this part here, plus a little tab that will come into here, and then install that new piece in here and silver solder it in place, and that will replace the threaded end on here without messing with that spline and how this is all fit up, and then the spline here as well. That's my plan. We pulled our screw out of there, which wasn't hard at all. One little nut on the end, and then that whole package deal comes off of here. And this spline is actually, this is the working spline right there. Very, very shallow spline. These right here are just, that's the shoulder There's a little bit of burr where this has been cranked in. We're going to stone that off, but we'll clean this up here after the fact, when we put this back together with a new set of threads on the end of it. All right, so we know that we're gonna cut this off right here, okay, and we're gonna make a new piece, and we can have a little bit longer on the threads. That sticks out. It has nothing. It's open air, so we're gonna leave a little bit there. Now we know that that's where the end is going to be, but we want to have a depth, probably something that comes into at least an inch or so in depth. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut our Acme thread off there in the saw, and then we're going to go over to the clausing, or the we're working on the clausing. We're going to go over to the Rutland, and we're going to do the machining needed to put these two pieces together. Okay. From here on out, there's no screwing around. We have the original shaft in the lathe now. This diameter is an odd diameter, so we can't really run it in a collet. And we do want to run the Acme threads in a collet, because the coarse thread and the 3-jaws got an interrupted little surface on its inside, and it really doesn't let this sit true running. So I want to turn this in a collet, but the collet size for this would have had to been 35/64, and we don't. We have 5/8, 11/16, and no collets in between there in the 64 size. All right. We just got to touch off here. We just wanted to take that last little bit there. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to drill and ream that, and we're going to pick a diameter. Let's see what diameter was that little nub here that was sticking off, and it looks like 508, 507. We can make that a drilled and reamed 1/2 inch fit. It's a 15-30 seconds drill. We've slowed the speed down a little bit. Let's see if it's enough. That's drilling okay. Okay, we're going to take that in about 1 inch. Okay, right there. We got a little better than 1 inch. Okay, shy of the 1/2 inch reamer. That's what we want. Okay, we're gonna put that in there. I think we're gonna slow this down even a little bit more. There we go. And I'm gonna get the air to clear that out, and we're gonna get some tapping fluid. All right, let's go ahead and measure the depth that we have in here. We have 1 1/8 inches. The reason why I'm using the tapping fluid here is I want a crisper cut, and I think I've had more luck with tapping fluid. Okay, that's all the way in. I'm getting about 501 thousandths, 501 thousandths. I'm getting 510, 5/10. So anywhere between a half an inch and a thou over. All right, we're going to be doing a silver solder joint here, so it doesn't matter if we have a couple thousandths. Anywhere between, I'd say, 2 and 10 is going to be excellent. Of course, the truer it is, the straighter it'll hold it. All right, we're going to break just that leading edge right in on the inside, because the silver solder will fill that in and it'll be fine, but we don't want a sharp burr on there, a stress rising area. I'd rather have it a blend of the silver solder. And just a little touch of paper on the outside. I don't want to do too much to it right now. We'll be massaging all of those surfaces there once this is finished being silver soldered in place. All right, now the lathe part is actually complete. This is ready to reuse. There is some, actually, I'm going to go ahead and I want to take a few of the burrs off of this edge right here on these pieces right here. And actually, I want part of this flat to be sticking out here, because actually I'm going to use that to guide somewhat. Still there. Okay, they're off of there now. Okay, we got the 3/4 inch collet in there, and now we can put the feed rod in there, and we'll adjust up on it. Okay, and I think we'll lock it down right there. All right, now let's see what that looks like. That's running nice and true. But you can see how far off that cut was, and that's where we were cutting it in the 3-jaw. And we just wanted this to be kind of a bull-nosed here. Nice. Now, just because we may have to ever put this back into a lathe and do something to it or support it or whatever, we're going to put a small center drill on the end of it so that we can always run it between centers to polish it, to work it, or to help straighten it later on. I can see a rollover thread here. So I'm just removing it. Okay, now we're just going to make sure that that fits on our nut fine. Alright, new announcement. The best ball caps in the community are back in stock right now. Now anybody that's worn one of my Adams caps with the cool lining, adjustable strap, knows that I'm walking the talk and I'm getting her done on ball caps. Now there are a couple new changes to the ball cap. On my turn right ball cap, I'm offering it now in a solid color. We're doing them in black and we're doing them in navy. Now we carried over the same cap, the same great ball cap, the Adams cap, with the Patriot Attitude artwork on the front. And the emoji I was using at the time when I designed this ball cap is still on the side of it. I like it. I'm going to continue with that same style right here. This is the black. I also have it in the Mississippi Mud. I have it in the charcoal. Charcoal's pretty close to the black, but it is a little lighter. These are stone finish ball caps. This is also in the navy as well. Now, at the last time when we came out with the Patriot Attitude, we had several camouflage caps, and the most popular ended up being the XD3 made by Pacific. Okay, this hat doesn't, I'm not sure if this hat floats in the water. I haven't proven it yet, and I'm not going to claim it does, but I am going to claim it was the most popular camouflage hat at the time, and we offer the Patriot Attitude in that as well. Alright, I just wanted to bring you up to speed and let you know that I have the ball caps back in stock.